Alex, we're going.
All right.
How are you?
Good, man.
How's the Christmas treating you?
It's been good.
Yeah?
It's always good to get home, for sure.
How long have you been here for? Like, I remember we talked back in April when it first started. Remember you came over?
Yeah. I was home all summer, and then I went back to school September. So I just finished my first semester of my master's.
Congrats.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was online, so a little different than the normal school semester feel for sure. But
Yeah.
so then I've been home now for 3-4 weeks. I had to do the isolation, so
Oh, yeah.
if you count those 2 weeks of being home.
What are you, what are you studying again in your master's?
Applied health science.
Yeah, Jasper was telling me that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me that in the first podcast, but it slipped my mind. How's that going?
Good.
Because
yeah.
give me a background on what that even means.
So basically, mine, applied health science is kind of a umbrella term, but mine is more focused on like epidemiology and biostatistics. So kind of a good field to be going in due to everything that's happened, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I'm working with Professor Brent Fott.
Okay.
I worked with him last year too. He's a really good guy, so I learned a lot working with him. And yeah, I'm going to be doing a thesis on hospital data. So we're looking at people who have fallen in the hospital and sort of seeing if we can figure out trends of the type of people who are more likely to fall. So then we can sort of predict those people before it happens.
Do you mean like physically falling, like elderly people slipping? Like that's what you're talking about?
In the hospital, yeah.
So what's the thesis going to be about? Like hazards around the hospital that allows that to happen?
Yeah, it's biostatistics. So we'll look at basically like the different variables that would cause someone to fall. So you look at everyone who's fallen, and then you look at, okay, maybe are they on this type of medication, or are they female or over the age of 75, and then we're just going to look at everything and see if there's like a pattern.
How do you get involved in this? Like, at what age do you go, I'm kind of interested in this stuff? Like that, the fact that you brought it up, that would never enter my mind ever in a million years. But how do you stumble upon that career path?
Yeah, I guess, I did a medical science undergrad, so
let's start there then.
Yeah.
How do you go from high school and then go into that in college and go, I have an interest in this?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to, I knew science is a good field to be in, and I wanted to challenge myself, so
yeah.
I went into medical science undergrad, and then this master's sort of just came about with working with Dr. Fott, and that's his field. So
what's his name? Sorry,
Dr. Fott.
Dr. Fott. Okay.
Yeah, so that's his specialty. So and I'm pretty comfortable with math and statistics. So it's a little different than like biology and chemistry. So
yeah, I've
liked it so far. So. Yeah.
How can you relate a medicine that's in someone's body to someone that falls? Like, if someone's on too much Advil, like, how can you predict someone falls because of it?
I mean, it would be like side effects of medicines. They maybe make people drowsy or dizzy or something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm just trying to picture you, like, playing lacrosse and the doctor's trying to, like, help you out. If you get hurt, you're like, I got it, doc. I'm good. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just giving yourself needles and stuff. How's the training going? And like I said before you got here, Jasper and the boys, you said that you guys were out there playing.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, we got a good crew around here, so since I was home all summer, we had a good group. We had the HPLL boys out.
The what?
HPLL.
What's that?
Because we were playing at Highland Park.
Okay, yeah.
So that was like McKenna and Jasper, Drew McDonald, Draper, all those boys.
Yeah.
So now that I'm home again, I'm like, all right, boys, let's get back to work, So
absolutely.
We rented out the Gray there, and Belly was invited, but he
throwing me under the bus.
He couldn't make it.
Too many drinks the night before, I won't lie.
I gave him a stick. I gave him a fresh twig. And he won't even use it.
No, I'm coming out. What do you say, Saturday?
Yeah.
I'm coming out. I'm going to hold myself to it.
We were little short guys, too.
Were you?
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Are you going to helmets and gloves?
No, we were full gear.
You're full gear? Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I'll be oh, Jesus. I don't even know if I have full gear.
It was honestly a pretty hard run, so.
You're sweating it out, eh?
Yeah, because we had the place for 3 hours. So we did like hour pracky and then scrimmage for.
You had the place for 3 hours.
That's all they'll let you rent at the Gray.
How much is it for 3 hours?
I think it's like $250.
How many guys you got?
We had 15.
Oh, yeah.
So.
It's the thing about this time of year. It's tough to get out and exercise, especially with the gyms closed. Are they open now? They're open? Yeah. Still, You can't get a workout like a lacrosse workout. I remember every time I played the first game of senior, you go into it, you're somewhat in shape. But then that first run, just humbling. The second run, like the second game's a little bit better than the third game. You're just back into it. But I always remember that first game of the year. And especially the first game, usually you're always short a couple guys, so you don't even have an opportunity to change, and you're just bagging yourself up and down the floor. But, like I said,
there's definitely nothing like game shape. Doesn't matter how hard you train.
Oh, yeah. But no, you go.
But, yeah, we in St. Catharines there, that was part of the reason I wanted to go back up there after the summer, because we have a lot of guys around, obviously, that play at a high level. So I was playing like 3 or 4 times a week in St. Catharines.
Yeah.
With like a lot of other pro guys, and so we had our own run in St. Catharines going, and like I think we had like 20 guys out, and every single one was going to NLL camp.
You see what I mean? Like that's that Ontario base. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
And I mean, obviously, everyone's in the same boat without being to play, so they're all looking to play. So we had guys coming like an hour away and stuff. So it was pretty good. But then they just locked down in Ontario, so all that's done. So
was that part of the reason why you came home, because of the lockdown there?
Yeah, well, it hadn't locked down yet when I came home, but I mean, I had to do the isolation, so I had to be home relatively early because I don't want to be isolating through Christmas and stuff, right?
That's fair.
Defeats the purpose. But now that it's locked down there, I'll probably stay a little longer here because we can practice and go to the gym and stuff. So.
Yeah. No, that's the thing about those situations of where you can play with pro guys. It's like I'm thinking of the NHL guys that skate here, but there's people that come from Alberta, like Taylor Hall comes here. All those first-round draft picks that get drafted that year. Who was it last year that came? They went to New Jersey. Jack Hughes came. Yeah, it's like all those boys come here. But the best players in the world just want to get better, and you can't get better unless you're playing with the best players in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So in that Ontario hub, some of the best players in the world are there, and I understand. Like guys come from an hour away. It's like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
100%, I get
it. Exactly. Like the last run we had like Dane Smith was there, who was the NL MVP like 2 years ago. Like,
dude,
Kyle Matisse. Like we had like 15 guys that are like solid NLL players, so it's pretty good. And then we have like our younger guys, like junior A guys from around that just got drafted, so it was a great opportunity for them too to kind of get their feet wet before going to camp this year. So
I wanted to talk about Draper, who just got drafted to the Thunderbirds. You said he was out in the run with you boys the other day?
He wasn't there, but he's gonna be there for sure.
Have you talked to him at all? Has he asked you any advice, anything like that? Because that's a guy who's from around here. And
Yeah. I mean, I know Draper is a hard worker, and I know that it was funny. I don't want to say I take credit for him getting drafted, but before the draft, he had put his name in, and I said, okay, that's great. You should probably put together like a little tape or something to sort of get some buzz going about your name, right?
Smart.
And
did you do the same thing?
I didn't do the same thing because I was sort of on the circuit up there.
Okay.
So and I had talked to teams, but he kind of put his name in just like just taking a shot to put his name in. But if they don't know your name's in, then your chances are less likely, right? And so he put out a nice highlight tape and ended up getting picked by Halifax, which I was super excited for him.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, he's a really hard worker, and the guy's an athlete. He's a good player. I mean, it's definitely going to be a step up, but I think when you're there around those best guys, just soak it all in, and like you'll learn so much even in that short amount of time. And just go in there. You deserve to be there. Go in there and work for a spot.
Yeah. It's great. Like, I don't want to give you all the credit, but you're definitely setting a forefront for lacrosse players in this part of the world. You set the path of going to Ontario, getting noticed, and then going to the NLL. The Thunderbirds have a big part of, kids having a lacrosse stick in their hands right now as well. But, just seeing a guy like yourself do the path and seeing the first guy behind you, like Draper, who's to know what the path looks like the next 10 years. It must be a cool feeling for you to, like, I remember when Jasper said, hey, like, Pacer's back, the boys are getting together, meaning, okay, Pacer's the leader of this group, we're going to have a good throw around. That must be a cool feeling for you.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, that's all I want is to just grow the game as much as I can, especially here because, I did make a lot of sacrifices, and it wasn't an easy journey to get where I am, but if you can make that journey easier for other guys and sort of show them the way that you can reach your goals, then that's an awesome feeling.
Takes a lot of sacrifice too, moving away. You know, it's like that's, you know, don't get me wrong. Most guys don't mind it, but other guys do. Other guys are a homebody. Other guys do like the mom's cooking. They don't really want to leave, and I completely get that. I'm like a homebody myself.
Yeah.
But guys that do move away at a young age, not even lacrosse, not any sport, I just find whenever they do come back to Halifax and I talk to them, just the maturity level, the wisdom of leaving your house and kind of turning into a man when you're 16, 17, living with someone else. You have to grow up a little bit more. Like I said, not lacrosse, not hockey, any sport. If you go away at a young age, you notice it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think a lot of people who know me know, like I have a great relationship with my parents, and I'm really tight with my family, and my mom does a ton for me when I'm at home. But you definitely learn so much when you go away, and just because you have no choice, you're forced to grow up. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of sacrifice. You know, I would be away for the full school year, and then I would spend summers there too. So I was really home like once a year for 4 years, you know. So
it's crazy.
A lot of guys don't want to make that commitment, and maybe that seems too much for them. But if you want to do it, that's sort of the only way.
Well, that's always the confusion I had about the sport in general, any sport, is the commitment level at 16. Because most kids or most guys when they're 16 aren't really committed to, maybe, you know, there obviously are some, but the majority aren't committed to going to the NHL or NLL. They might say they are, but most of them are out in the weekend having a couple beer, having the bag of chips, McDonald's and all that shit. Like that's just kind of the 80-75% of the guys.
Yeah.
But to actually have drive at 16 years old, go, no, this is going to happen for me. That's a rare breed.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I think it's happening more and more. Like we just had Nate on, and, you know, we talk about Sid and all those boys, but it's like those are the guys who are setting the forefront of, you know, you can do it out of this part of the world. You can go do anything you want. And at an age of 16, 15, 14, whatever you are, to look at guys like that and have an example, it's, I don't know, it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't even a question. I was just rambling.
I was going to say something I kind of forgot, but yeah, I think when I went up there, like originally it was like, okay, this is my opportunity if I want to make it to the NLL. Like this is the path that I need to be on. But I didn't like go up there like I'm guaranteed to make the NLL, you know? Like
Yeah.
I kind of just went up there like this is my opportunity.
Yeah.
I can make the most of it. And you know, when I first got up there, we talked about this last time, but when I first got up there, I wasn't like, if in my first year in junior A, like no one would have said that kid's going to go to the NLL.
Yeah.
You know, like I just progressed every year, and I took every opportunity to play. That was the one thing that I told myself, because we have a limited amount of lacrosse in Nova Scotia. You don't get to play all year.
Yeah.
I said, if I'm going to be up here, I'm going to play every opportunity I get to play. I'm going to take it. And you know, I played in the ALL at age 18, which was like a senior league, you know, with very little experience up there. I just, you know, my buddy said, "You want to play?" I said, "Yep."
Yeah.
You know, like I just took every opportunity to play because I knew that's how you get better.
Yeah.
And that's how you get noticed, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's definitely ways to do it now, man. The internet's a crazy thing. You're talking about Draper with the video. You know, you set a video of yourself and you get yourself out there. There's millions of ways.
That definitely has an impact, right? Like you can be a name, but you got to have some buzz around your name, and especially being like a local guy for him, like it just made sense for Halifax. There, and I'm super glad that worked out, and I know he's putting the work in, so I'm excited for him to get that opportunity against the top guys and see what he can do.
Especially in a place in his backyard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Halifax is a good team though. They picked up some good guys.
Did they? Like I know they got a couple. I don't know the rosters in the NLL.
Yeah.
But if you say it, I believe it.
Tyson Bell is a guy that they picked up. He played for Calgary. He's from St. Catharines.
Okay.
So I'm pretty good buddies with him. I play with him all the time. And
good guy.
Great guy, but he's legit, man. He's going to be one of the best defensive players in the league in the next couple years. I think he's like 25, so he's just in his prime, and yeah, he's really good. That's a big pickup for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Have you guys made any free agent acquisitions?
Yeah, we picked up. We made a lot of moves in the off season. Actually, we picked up Ben McIntosh, one of the best righties in the league. Corey Small, a lefty sniper. Alex Krepinsek's a solid veteran D guy. So yeah, we made some big moves. Like we're primed to take a run at it. So I can't wait to get back down there, man.
Is your captain still on the team?
Kyle Matisse.
Matisse, thank you, Kyle, if you're listening, for the stick once again.
Yeah.
That was I show it off every time someone comes into the studio. Very thankful for that stick. So Saturday, I'm gonna try my best to get out there and try to shoot around with it.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to get out Saturday. You're going full gear.
Full gear.
If you have 20 guys, you can do 10 on 10.
Yeah. That's what we would
You
hopefully do.
Do you have 2 goalies?
Yeah.
You got goalies coming out, eh?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think that.
The boys are hungry, man. They're hungry around here.
I know. I'm such a bag of shit right now. Upstairs, there's like chocolate everywhere. Every time I go up to use the washroom, I'm grabbing 2 chocolates.
I didn't mention, but this setup is pretty unreal. It's looking good, man.
I appreciate that. Oh yeah, you were honestly probably one of the last podcasts we did in my parents' basement.
Yeah.
Because that was right before COVID got serious, so we had to shut it down.
Right.
And I don't think we might have done 1 or 2 after, but I think you might have been the last podcast in that studio. And then we got this place now. But no, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is a good setup. Looks legit.
Speaking of setups, I forgot I got to tell you this. So it was probably 4 or 5 months ago. I had a buddy who just moved to the same neighborhood that we live in, and he was driving by, and he was driving by the school where we play, where that net is, and he knew that I lived in the neighborhood. He's like, "Hey man, like, is that your net by any chance? Like, do you know if I can go shoot on it?" I'm like, "No, that's Pacers net. Like, I don't think he would care if you go shoot on it." He's like, "Oh, sick."
Yeah.
So he's driving. He bought the house like right next to the school. Saw the net, and he says he goes and shoots on it. Is it still there, the net?
Yeah, it is still there.
What's the rule with letting people shoot? You don't care?
Anyone can shoot.
It's a sick little
the game.
It's sick. Like the little thing you got back there.
Yeah, man. That's honestly where that's where all the dreams came to fruition, down at the wall there and in the tennis court. A lot of hours spent hitting the wall there, and that's the beauty of lacrosse, right? Like, if you want to get better at it, you just got to put the time in, and it's not so much like hockey where you got to have a rink, and it's like you can go find a wall, get the stick in your hand. That pays dividends, and everyone, the best guys in the world are playing wall ball
right now.
Like it's not like there's some secret that the top guys are doing. So
when I remember back in the Pee Wee Bantam days, I would take it to school with me. Like, I'd get in trouble with my teachers because I'd just be sitting at my desk just crazy. Just always had it in my hand, always.
Yeah,
it's an addicting feeling, having that ball in the mesh and just knowing how you, I don't know, it's just, it feels like it's part of you.
Yeah, it does.
It's a weird feeling. But I remember, back when I wanted to get good at the game, it was always in my hand, always. There's just so many things you can do with it.
Hitting the wall, like, that's like meditation almost.
Yes, well said.
Like, you go down there and just clear your head and just hitting it off the wall over and over. Like, that's definitely something I look forward to doing.
I wanted to ask you, did you ever know Mr. Fink, Wayne Fink?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was your...
I think if you played lacrosse in Nova Scotia, you knew Wayne for sure. So,
do you have any stories about Wayne growing up? Like
I would say, he never...
a little closer, sorry,
Yeah. He never coached me or anything, so I didn't get to experience that, but I did ref with him a few times, and I remember just like being like a 13-year-old kid reffing, and being with him, it was always like, you kind of knew that he was going to take care of you out there. So no, he was the man. Like, he's like the godfather of lacrosse in Nova Scotia. So it was sad to see him pass. But
it was unfortunate, very unfortunate.
He's done so much for the game, so he's a legend.
Absolutely. And when you talk about our generation, like, guys who are mid-20, pushing 30 right now, back, like you just said, when we're 13 years old, he was the guy that put the stick in the hand. He was the guy, I didn't even know you reffed.
Yeah, just as a kid, like a little bit, yeah.
Maybe that's the thing. Like, I remember stories where he would be at games and refs didn't really know what to do in certain situations. And even if he was up in the stands or like working the clock, he would stop the game and be like, "No, this is actually how you do it." Not in a rude way, we just didn't know how to do it. So he educated the whole province on certain things. And to this day, like I said in that article I wrote a month ago, just who knows where lacrosse Nova Scotia would be if it wasn't for that guy. There's other people as well, but he helped for sure, man.
Yeah, and he played in the NLL himself, and
did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did back in the day. He played for Montreal, I think, when they had a team.
No way.
Yeah, and his son played in the NLL.
Danny, right?
Dan Fink. He played for Philly.
Did he?
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But and
he has a daughter.
His daughter, I think she played like Division I. She played NCAA. So like,
Crazy.
Yeah, definitely shows his knowledge and
Yeah.
what he passed down.
I remember when he introduced the game to our elementary school, and within the next week, 50% of the kids walking around had a lacrosse stick in their hand. That's what I was talking about, being in school, just always having the stick in my hand. It was like a wave that just kind of went over the whole school. And the next thing you know, everyone's asking questions like, "Okay, what does a lacrosse helmet look like? What's a rib cage? What does an elbow pad look like?" The curiosity, at least within my school, was ridiculous. Just we had questions for days. How do you do this? How do you do that? What happens when you score? If you score from this far away, is it 2 points? What does the goalie wear? And I remember going to certain games and playing against other teams like Southwest and Tassa, or St. Margaret's Bay, I guess they're called. And the same questions. I remember we'd show up to games and, we'd be warming up and you'd go meet your friend at the red line and be like, "Do you know how to do this in a game? Like, what's going on here?" But Mr. Fink was always there to kind of like solve it and figure it out. Because, what's a pick and roll? What are you talking about? You got to switch hands to shoot? How do you do that? There's just so much to learn. And to this day, like, I bet the best players in the world are still trying to learn and innovate the game.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah, I'd say that's a big part of my success is just always like taking every opportunity around the top guys to see what they're doing and see the niches to their game, and that's what helps you get ahead.
I love watching the games from up in the press box at the Scotiabank Arena because it's such a different, the bird's eye view of seeing how the game breaks down. I love watching that compared to where the fans sit. It's a different view.
Yeah,
I like it. It's a lot of information, I guess, that you wouldn't maybe get from sitting.
Yeah, you can see how they're spread out and sort of all the spacing and how much that's in play, I'd say.
You see the anticipation of guys off the ball. Like, I find if you're like an average fan of lacrosse, you'll watch the guy with the ball that's playing, and but I love watching the guys that don't have the ball, the off-ball movement. So, especially when the NLL came here, because watching lacrosse, not that there's anything wrong with lacrosse Nova Scotia, but obviously it's not a skill set of the NLL. So my whole life, I just watched guys from around here in Quebec, Ontario, but then watching it at an NLL level. I remember that first inter-squad game. Or you're probably in Philly when that happened, but I remember the Thunderbirds it was free, so they packed the Scotiabank Arena, and it was the first time I ever saw an NLL game in person as an adult. I saw a couple as a kid, and we were lucky enough to sit up there and just, I don't know, just the things they were able to get away with, like the hacking, like if you boom, no call, crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely different, like with the picks and stuff. Around here, like moving pick, if you move at all, like they're calling it. Whereas up there, it's basically like, and in the NL, it's basically like as long as you don't knock the guy over.
Yeah.
So, as a defender, like you think that you're dealing out all the damage and all the physicality, but you got to keep your head up on the D end because you'll get blindsided with a pick and you can get hammered, and then it's a 2-on-1 for them, and that's a scoring chance, right? So yeah.
How long did it take you to have that NLL welcome moment? It's like, oh, you can do that and get away with it. Like, when did that come into play?
Yeah, we honestly in junior up there, like the rules are pretty much the same. Like,
really?
Like we have the same. It's the same refs. Like
in the NLL and junior.
Yeah.
Really, in Ontario.
Yeah. So because it's a pretty small community, right? So they have for junior A, they have the top guys doing the junior and NLL. So the rules are honestly the exact same. So I was pretty familiar with that, but welcome to the NLL moment, I guess. Like I'd say that I felt pretty comfortable my first few games. Like I came in and I was pretty comfortable. We won like 3 of our first 4 that I played.
Nice.
And but I remember playing against Georgia, and Georgia's like they got the best offense in the league, like Lyle Thompson, Randy Stats, Shane Jackson was the MVP this year, and he's a lefty, so I was covering him, and I remember he's carrying it down low, and he throws a flip pass right by my ear to a guy in front of the net, and they score, and I'm just like, I have never seen someone throw a flip pass like that. Like,
maybe just like a little whoop.
Like he was carrying it like this, and he flipped it.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it was like right across the crease, and it was just unbelievable. So that was sort of when I'm like, okay, these guys are just on another level. But you're in the game, so you got to just refocus and what's next, So.
Yeah. It's crazy the level of skill that you're able to see out there. I just for myself watching up in the press box, but I couldn't imagine excuse me, being down there and seeing a ball whisper by your ear as some guy just tosses it behind his back, or a little flip pass, like the quickness of how something like that happens, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely fast. The ball moves fast out there.
Yeah.
I think I told that story the first time I was on, when in training camp, when I was on defense, obviously, and they swing the ball, and I'm looking, and then it swings back, and I turn to look, and it's already back.
Oh yeah, you told me that story.
It's already back to
yeah.
my side, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so fast.
You did a 360. You're like, where's the ball?
Yeah, like look this way, and then looked. They swung it back, and it was already back again. So, but yeah, you definitely have to be aware of your positioning and just be able to see, the ball and your man at the same time.
So tough to do.
Yeah.
How's your vision? You have like 20/20 vision? You wear glasses?
No, I do.
No?
I've 20/20.
You need good eyes when you play lacrosse, man. Think about it.
Yeah.
That's a small ball. It's moving quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is tough.
Yeah,
Never thought of that.
it's funny. So a guy on our team, Blaze Reardon, he plays offense for us in Philly, but he's like the best field goalie in the world.
Yeah.
And so this guy's like, his reaction time is just off the charts because he's a field goalie, right? So those guys are like, he's getting guys cranking at 100 miles an hour from like 10 yards away, right? Like
psycho, man. That's crazy.
But his you throw him a pass, and even when he's playing offense, you throw him kind of a bad pass, and he just catches it way down here. He never drops the ball just because his reaction time's so good. So it definitely does have does play a factor.
Some of those field goalies, man, are absolute psychos. I could never, ever in a million years, ever play that position.
I know.
Anyone who does it, God love you. Good for you. You got bigger balls than me.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, our field goalie at Brock, Simon Bellamy, he's an absolute savage. The guy, you meet a lot of field goalies, and they're they love it, but they're not willing to take shots after practice and stuff.
Why not?
Just because they don't want to get soaked with the ball,
Yeah.
They're not really looking for those extra reps. But our goalie at Brock, Simon, he will tire us out. We'll be too tired to keep shooting before this guy stops. But
I love it.
He's going home just bumps and bruises all over, and
what a warrior.
Yeah, he's a warrior. But I mean, if you want to get better, right? He just wants to get better, and you got to get in the net and take shots, right?
Who's your D coach in Philly, and how much has he helped you?
My D coach is Ian Rubel.
Okay.
And he was also my coach in Junior A. So
you told me this, and you have high praise for him.
Yeah, he's been awesome. He's been huge for my development, and he coached me 3 years in junior, and then basically was the reason that I got to Philly.
Yeah.
So, we have a great relationship, and he trusts me a lot, and we play the same system that I played in junior, so it was a really good transition for me.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so that's why I got lucky in Philly, and it's definitely an ideal place for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Going into a situation where you're more comfortable and just having people around you that you know how to work with.
Yeah.
That's cream of the crop. That's perfect.
Yeah, and he knows what I can do, and he trusts me to go out there and play my game, and so I had a lot of success with him this year, and hopefully just keep it rolling into the next year.
So that's my next question. What's April, they said, at the NLL?
Yeah, April start date is what they've told us.
So it's January now, pretty much.
Yeah, still a long way
February,
away.
March, April. That's 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm not a math major.
January, February, March, April.
4 months?
4 months, yeah.
You're the math guy, yeah, okay.
But yeah, so I mean, from what I've heard, they haven't released anything about the schedule or if it's going to be in certain cities or anything like that. They just said April start date. From what I've heard, just rumors, they're hoping to have a full 18-game season, regular travel.
I bet it's just the Canadian teams that's kind of the fork in the road. It's all right, well, obviously the NHL can afford to have a Canadian bubble, but I don't know if the NLL can. That's how many Canadian teams are in the NLL? Canada,
Halifax, Toronto, Saskatchewan, Vancouver, Calgary. So 5 out of 13.
So it's if there's a Canadian bubble, can that work?
They probably could do a Canadian division. Yeah, they probably could, but I don't know. It's a little different, right? Are you gonna have Halifax flying out to Vancouver a couple times? Probably not.
There's a lot of logistics that go into it in order to save money.
And the thing is with our league is they like we need fans.
Yeah, you do need
So,
fans. Yeah.
I mean, from what I've heard is they're hoping to have fans. So
I don't think that's a problem in America.
I don't think it is either, especially if they can get the vaccine distributed, right? But it's definitely hard to be. You want to be optimistic, but you don't want to get your hopes up either, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely up in the air still.
Yeah. Well, at least there's conversation about it, and it's just like, no, it's not happening until 2022. At least there's a somewhat of a set date, something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. I know they want to make it happen, and it would be pretty cool to have it going through the summer. That would probably be.
That would be nice.
Yeah, go to all those different cities in the summer would be cool.
That'd be sick. What do you know about the vaccine? Are you comfortable talking about that? Are you a political guy? You're good?
I mean, from what I've learned, like, I think vaccines are good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about this vaccine though, and anything like how it works, what it attacks in the body?
No, nothing. No, like I haven't like done any research on it, so
just has to stay refrigerated.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they can get enough out there that we can open up.
Yeah. It'd be nice. Hopefully it works. Things can happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think what I see for the future is like it's going to be like because you already see that there's that different variant, right? Like,
what does that mean?
Like there's a different strain of like it was over in the UK.
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to be like you get your flu shot and you get your coronavirus shot every year type of thing. So but
what's the first step of creating a vaccine? You find the disease, you put it on a plate, and then you just throw liquid at it? I don't know. I was like, how do you start working on a vaccine? I don't know. Do you?
Basically, what a vaccine is, from like what I've learned, is it would be like a non-live version of the virus. So it can't infect you, and then you inject that and your body can make antibodies against it without it making you sick. So then when you come in contact with the live version, you already have the antibodies to
so you're immune to it almost.
Yeah.
So it's almost a preparation. Okay.
Same thing as if when you get sick, like you fight it off, your body makes antibodies, and then you can't get that again, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't get chicken pox again because you
have the shot.
Yeah. Or you've had it before and your body's developed the antibodies to fight it off.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have been working around the clock to try to figure that out, man. If it's affecting the economy, that's one thing that not always, but it's something I thought about. It's like, okay, there's a thing out there called the coronavirus, and it's affecting the economy. And they have found a vaccine for it within a year, but yet there's other diseases out there that are killing, you got cancer, you got AIDS, and they still don't have a cure for it. I don't know. I don't want to get into that road, but I just thought it was very fishy that they found a cure so quickly.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you got to think about the allocation of resources that probably went towards this and the amount of money. And obviously, it's a big ticket for whoever's creating that vaccine first, right? So
Pfizer, I think, is distributing it right now.
Yeah, and so it's a big, like, tons of resources, tons of research. Like, nothing's been this globally researched the way the coronavirus vaccine has been. So it is understandable that it would come out so quick. And, those other... It's a virus, so it's a lot more common to make a vaccine for that than, say, an autoimmune disease like AIDS or something.
Yeah. I can see how you can become interested in a topic like that, though. Like, think about it. Like the person that figures out this vaccine is saving the world, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like so I'm starting to understand a little bit how you can become, okay, no, I'm going to look into bioscience as a career. I get that,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I was always interested in the human body, so it's pretty cool when you're learning about how, like, mechanisms of your own body, like how you break down food and that gives you energy, like, just it's things that are happening in your body and it's so complex. And so that was always interesting to me.
At what age did you become fascinated with it? Like, were you just on YouTube and some guy was like, how does that happen?
I was just always like kind of knew like science is a good route to take. Like, I think I just was like, my parents definitely like always kept me in check. Like, sports are there, but they're not going to be there forever. But education is something that will take you anywhere, right? And like it's necessary. So I think I always like made school a priority. And I'm a competitive guy, and like I would get a bad test or a bad exam mark, and like that would just rattle me for like days. Like that'll rattle me more than like a bad game, you know? Like,
really?
yeah, like I'm just, and it's not because like I want to be better than the next guy or I want to get a higher mark than someone else. It's just like personally, I just want to do well in that. And so, yeah, I was always competitive in school too and sports. So, and science was just like, you know, it's definitely just a good route to take. So,
Yeah. Where does that drive come from? Do you have a brother?
no, I have an older sister.
What? So where does that competitive nature come from?
I don't know. Maybe I guess my parents probably are similar that way. You know, my dad's a really hardworking guy, and,
Yeah.
and my mom too. So I think they just instilled that in me from a young age. Like, you know, I had my own lawn mowing business when I was like, I think I started mowing lawns when I was like 13, man. Like,
Did you?
yeah, like I had a little cart. Like I would pull a cart around my neighborhood because I couldn't drive. It had the lawnmower, the whippersnipper, leaf blower. Like it would take me like 20 minutes to walk to a house. I'd be bagged before I got there. But like, you know, my parents always just kind of instilled like hard work pays off, and you know, you got to work for what you want, and yeah, the competitiveness. I think I've just always had that.
Yeah, it comes to some people naturally. You don't have to have an older sibling or anything to fight for the last chicken wing on the table. It can just come to a guy naturally, and it can come at different aspects of life. It's good that, you know, you're saying you're 13 years old and you started Alex Pace Landscaping and you're doing it.
AP Lawn Care.
AP Lawn Care. Sorry, my sorry about that. But all that's great that your parents were able to instill that, because some parents try to do it,
Yeah,
and then the kid just, you know, fucks off and doesn't, and then the next thing you know, you got a spoiled brat when the kid's 30.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, it's good that you had wide ears and you're listening. You're like, I'm gonna work hard.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, and I think a lot of guys, you know, you play sports and maybe you're a good like AAA hockey player, and a lot of guys sort of feel like that's enough, and they don't take school serious. And I don't know. I think my parents always kind of directed me to take school serious, but a lot of the pressure I put on is just like from myself, just wanting to do well and not being satisfied.
Yeah. I was always jealous of the kids that were good in school and, well, not good at hockey too, but just the kids that were good in school and were able to balance the sporting aspect of it well and play AAA. I wasn't one of those kids. I was the AAA kid, but the school aspect of things never really came natural to me.
Yeah.
And I remember this is like, I had a buddy, Alex Burke. Do you know him?
I know the
Queens,
name.
Played Queens lacrosse.
Oh,
real smart guy. He's
okay.
He's a dentist now.
Oh, wow.
I feel he's not a dentist. It's a big word. He went to school for like 20 years. Anyway, real smart guy. And I remember he used to drive me home from school, on report card day. Him and his sister, who goes to Harvard, his sister works at Harvard now. They'd show off the report card to the mom, be like, look at the A's, look at the B's. And I'd go in the car and be like, I'd have D's, a couple F's, maybe a C if I'm lucky. And I'd just be like, get me home. Just let me get this over with for my parents, looking at the report card. But I always remember looking back at those moments now, and I think that if I was more of an academic individual, I wouldn't have this company that makes me happy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's definitely the other side. Like, school's not for everyone, and there's tons of other ways to be successful. But
hard work, you got to be hard working no matter what you do.
Exactly. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So, and my parents never said like you got to get a science degree. Like, they weren't like pushing me in that. They're just like, whatever you're gonna do, just don't half-ass it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I agree completely with what your parents are saying and everything. But like, there's kids out there that have that work ethic, but just don't know how to apply it to anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I had a work ethic when it came to hockey. Like, I loved it, but outside of hockey, I didn't know how to apply work ethic to anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? I hated school. No, everyone telling me things. It didn't come naturally to me. So I just didn't know where to apply that effort.
Yeah, you definitely need to be guided.
Yeah.
Guided, and I think it's a big part of it is you gotta, like you said, this company makes you happy, and you gotta find what you're passionate about too. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
I see a lot of guys in university, guys and girls, and it's like they're getting their degree, but they're not really sure what they want to do. They're not motivated through it. They're kind of just squeaking by, and it's like, I don't know if that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, find what drives you and put 100% into it.
I think when you're younger too, it's the money factor. It's like, I'm just going to go get a business degree and then hopefully I'll make money and get a house and all that. When at the end of the day, you know, maybe you do go that route and you start to make money, but then you realize, that's not really making me happy. I'm miserable. I have a $500,000 mortgage that I'm paying for. I'm never even in this house. And the next thing you know, you're trying to work backwards at the age of 40. But that's the thing I think about the internet that's great. You can learn from so many people that have made mistakes, and you can work towards something that you love to do.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's one thing I always stress on this podcast is try to be a role model for those kids who are in junior high school and think just because they're failing a foundations math test that their life is over.
Yeah.
Because I was that kid, and there's a lot of other kids like that out there.
Yeah.
But like I said, these kids just need to figure out to apply their work ethic to something that gets noticed, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? And it's tough.
Yeah, I guess, like, did you ever see this sort of coming about, like, the way it has?
This?
Yeah.
No, man. God, no. No.
Like,
because, no. You know what I hate when people say? They go, before you start a business, have a business plan.
mm-hmm.
Man, my business plan changes 4 times a day.
Yeah.
I get an email saying, hey, do you want to do a live stream? We don't know how to live stream, but I'm going to say yes. I'll figure it out. If you're going to pay me for it, yeah, I'll do it. Like, no. So no. It started as a podcast, but it's grown into so much more.
Yeah, and I think even just from watching, because I've been following you guys from the start, because
appreciate that. Thank you.
I was a maritime athlete, and you're covering a lot of guys that I knew. So I'm like, you know, this is cool. This is a new sort of area that we don't have around here.
Yep.
So just to see the hustle you guys have been doing, it's encouraging.
Well, the only reason this business is successful is because of guys like you. You know, it's because of guys like Nate, because of guys like Sid, because of guys like Draper that are just coming up. It's guys like yourself that are putting a forefront to Nova Scotia rather than just Ontario and BC. Like, Nova Scotia is making some noise across Canada, and this company would be in the shits if it wasn't for guys like you, because you guys are something to talk about. You guys are someone to talk to. You guys have stories.
Yeah.
It's just, I remember I don't know when we started the company. 2017, and you just looked at that trend of, oh, okay, this guy's going to Cornell. Oh, this guy's going to Boston College. This guy, he's playing for the Mooseheads.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're like, oh, that's like 20 potential podcast guests. And then after that, it's like, boom, okay, then now we have more people, more sports, more leagues, more coverage, more cameras, and it's just, you just keep growing with it.
Yeah, it just leads to so many other avenues. And
crazy.
I think that's sort of, like, I can relate to that. It's like being a guy from Nova Scotia, and, you know, even just with lacrosse, you see the opportunities those kids have in Ontario. Like,
yeah.
Like right now, I'm coaching a U13 team in Ontario with there's 4 other guys. Holden Garland plays for Saskatchewan Rush.
Okay.
Latrell Harris plays for Toronto Rock.
Nice.
Jeff Wittig, Colorado Mammoth. Like, we're all buddies.
Yeah.
We all played junior A together, but there's four of us are coaching these U13 kids. You know?
Love that.
And it's awesome. Like, I definitely realize I have a passion for coaching, and but it, like, you know, we're kind of sitting around talking. It's like these kids are getting coached by 4 NLL guys, you know, and like, you would never have that opportunity in Nova Scotia, and that just makes me want to give back more here, because, you know, there's so much opportunity there, and you kind of see some of those kids maybe take it for granted. Whereas I think we appreciate it a little more here.
Yeah. You should start a camp here.
Yeah, I definitely want to one day. It's hard because I'm away majority of the year, but when I hope one day that I'll be back here full time, and I can really dedicate a lot of my life to growing the game here. That's something I want to do.
Never know. I could be talking to the next Halifax Thunderbirds head coach here. Who knows? You never know. One day. Just think about it. If you're getting into you're thinking coaching is a passion, you know, 20, 30 years down the line, anything's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, man, for sure. So.
Yeah. How much time are we at right now? 43 minutes. 43? Jesus. You do look hungover. He's like, my mom's listening to this. All right, so what are you doing the rest of your time here?
Just gonna try and see my buddies and play hockey and
play hockey.
Yeah,
I know you played hockey.
Yeah, I played high school.
Did you?
Yeah, played for JL.
Did you?
Yeah.
You got a great new high school going in, man.
I know,
Holy
awesome.
smokes, top of the line. It's huge.
Yeah, it looks good. I drove by it there the other day. I was shocked.
No, man, it looks awesome.
I really hope they put a turf field in there, because apparently they're going to demo the old school, put a field in. That's what I've heard. Yeah. So it would be awesome to get a turf field in.
As long as they don't touch the rink. I love that rink.
No, yeah, keep the rink.
Yeah, don't touch the rink.
Yeah, I was raised at that rink.
Same. Like when you talk about like smells in a rink, that rink has a smell.
Yeah,
like
the
you walk in there. When does lacrosse season start up? June,
yeah, like
May. You walk in there May, you get that little butterfly going. The season's about to start. Holy smokes, that's a smell.
Yeah, a lot of memories there.
A lot of memories. Yeah. But no, that school looks really good. That's great for the community. Odd fact I heard about the other day. So who's telling me this? So we were talking about the Chebucto Minor Hockey Association and how back in the day they didn't have really the skill set. It wasn't there. But now, because of so many other communities coming around this area, because, you got the community by JL. What's it called where Jasper lives? Right by the rink, the new one.
The Macintosh Run there?
Yeah, what's it called?
I don't know.
I guess you don't live here anymore.
I forget what it's called.
But anyways, there's just tons of communities coming up and about, and there's a bunch of kids coming to this community. Maybe you can say yes or no to this, but apparently the Chebucto Minor Hockey Association is becoming a lot more skilled because there's just tons of kids coming to this area. Every year they're getting better?
Yeah.
Every year they're like top of the league.
Yeah?
Really?
And I remember when we were younger back in the day, like Chebucto, they weren't the best team at all.
Yeah.
But now, completely changed. One, because it's the most affordable housing, too.
Yeah.
And because there's just a lot of communities coming up and around. On this street alone, there's like every day 8 kids playing hockey. When McKinnon left, they saw him up the street and started running towards him and drove off. But like every day there's kids playing hockey. Everywhere you drive around, kids playing hockey. So
yeah,
good for them.
I know growing up playing for Chebucto was definitely tough. Like we would have like a AAA team and then we would have like a B team,
Yeah,
it's like
the numbers weren't there.
You got Halifax and Tassa that have AAA, AA, So we never had like a true AAA team.
Yeah.
So we were always like just battling, but yeah, it's great to see this area growing and just Halifax growing in general.
Chebucto has great jerseys too. That green and the lighthouse and the yellow. I think that's mint. That's classic.
Yeah,
that's very nice.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to see if they get a turf in there, because if there's a turf up by JL, that means we can play lacrosse.
I know, man. That would be
shorter drive.
That would be great for the community, and we, like going to JL, we had our football team couldn't practice on our field, and our lacrosse team. It's like So, I'd love to see them put that in there.
Yeah, hopefully. It'd be nice. That's the thing. I was talking to the Thunderbirds management. And they're like, yeah, there's nowhere to practice here, because they really want a place to practice with turf other than cement.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, there's nowhere we can get a turf and get a nice practice. And same with away teams coming in. They said like the Toronto Rock came here and they had to practice at the Bowls.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, that's not really.
Well, I know the Gray is like.
Or maybe it was the Gray.
The Gray is full-time lacrosse now, or like.
Turf?
No turf.
Okay.
But they don't have the ice in there at all anymore.
Yeah.
So, and it's like real slippery, like concrete, like it's not good. I know my buddy plays for San Diego, and they were here in like January or February, and he sent me a Snapchat like, man, this is the coldest rink I've ever played in, like at the Gray. But I mean, really all you need to do is throw some turf down there, maybe get some new lights, and you could have a full year lacrosse facility, which would be another big boost for our lacrosse community.
It would be great if the Thunderbirds bought the rink, because I don't like if they're not putting ice in there, then it would be cool if they just bought it. They put their own turf in there and it became like a practice facility, because the Metro Center downtown or Scotiabank Center, that's full of ice all the time. There's always concerts there, so you definitely can't play as much as you want to.
Yeah, like even in Philly, like we don't practice at the Wells Fargo. Like we have a practice facility just down the.
Well, do you with turf?
Yeah.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's a big bonus. Like not everyone has it in the league. Obviously Halifax doesn't, and like there's not all the teams do, but it's nice because we fly in Friday night and go there and get helmets and gloves, just get a light pracky, and then in the morning we'll go to the Wells Fargo and do our shoot around there. But
such a sick league. I love the fly-in aspect. Like I get some guys live in the certain city. How many guys live in Philly that play in your team?
I think we had like maybe 5 or 6.
Yeah, but the other guys like fly in. I love that lifestyle. Just coming in, we got a couple weekend games, and I'm going to go back to my regular life. There's something about that that's really just unique. No other professional league, I don't think, does that.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like you're just like looking forward to that Friday afternoon. You're driving to the airport, you meet up with a few of the boys there, and like, just everything kind of. All your worries kind of go away. You just dial it in for the weekend. And then once you get to the city, everyone sort of connects once we're there, and, we get out and have a meal with the boys, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You're just fully focused and immersed in the lacrosse, and then you fly home Sunday, and it's like first semester or first semester last year, we had just started playing. So I was just starting to fly out to Philly like every weekend. And I had like 8 a.m. Monday class.
Oh,
just an absolute bagger.
Rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
I gotta get up and go to class.
We're like out on Saturdays, and then you're up early Sunday morning flying home, and it's just like, all right, back to the school grind.
Back to real life.
Yeah.
How bad are you just itching to play in Halifax?
Oh man,
You're
so bad.
itching.
Yeah.
How close were you to do? Because
I mean, I guess because of the virus, not close. Because we were supposed to play April like 18th or something.
And when did this all happen? It's all good, Justin. It's all good. Sorry, keep going.
Like it got shut down like March 11th or whatever. So, but yeah, man, like it was gonna be unreal. It was like a 1:00 game on a Saturday in April, like probably be decent weather, and be in Halifax with all the boys and play at home. Honestly, like everyone I ran into when I was home this summer said, oh yeah, we were waiting to go to your game. And
it would have been packed too, because they were just building up that fan base where they were starting to almost sell out the Upper Bowl too.
Yeah.
So like when you came, it definitely would have been sold out.
Yeah. My parents had a bunch of people that were like lined up to get tickets and stuff. So it's disappointing for sure. That one hurts. And then looking forward now, it's like probably won't get it this year either, because I doubt we'll be coming to Halifax, so man, just look forward to the future. Just keep your head down,
That's all you can do, man. Could be worse.
Yeah, exactly.
You always got to say it could be worse.
But it definitely, you definitely won't take it for granted anymore. You know? That's the one thing we've learned this last year. I had 3 different lacrosse seasons canceled, and it's just like, I miss it more than anything. It's like
am I even good anymore? I don't know. I can't. Like I gotta play. I gotta hit someone. I gotta get hit. I gotta.
All of the stuff I've been playing is like non-contacts. Or like, am I developing bad habits?
Yeah. But, you're getting soft.
I know it'll. I know once we get back out there, it'll all come back.
If we go out Saturday, Jasper will let us hit him. We'll get out there. I'll make sure he puts on the full gear. We'll go at him.
Yeah. Jasper's always out there battling.
Saturday, eh?
Yeah, 1:00.
Oh man, when's New Year's? Tomorrow, Thursday. So
Thursday.
Friday's not looking good for me.
Yeah.
So Saturday the 2nd.
Perfect. It's perfect.
We could, maybe we'll bring the boys out. We'll get like the camera crew. We'll mic someone up.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure Draper would love that.
Oh yeah, 'cause is he gonna be there?
Yeah, he'll be there.
All right. This guy has to get hours, and Justin's a co-op student at Sir John A.
Nice.
So he has to get his hours in, but we should have had them in, but everything got canceled. So we're just trying to get hours in for him. But that'd be good.
Can't you just sign off on his hours or something?
I can, but his guidance counselor's probably listening, so not anymore. Yeah, you just ruined that for us.
Sorry,
but no, we'll figure it out. That'd be sick. Saturday.
Yeah.
It'd
be a good time.
All right, man. You want to say anything? And you want to say hi to any friends?
Yeah, shout out to everyone, all the lacrosse players out there itching to get back. I'd say I had a couple kids message me after the post there yesterday, say what can I do to get better in this off time, and I think it's pretty simple. Just keep the stick in your hand, and keep your conditioning up, and I think the people who take this time to improve are gonna be have a good head start. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, Alex, man, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
I love having you. You're always welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'll be back for sure.
Definitely. Maybe we'll come up. I was going to say maybe we'll do a podcast in Philly, but I don't see me getting to Philly anytime soon.
Maybe one day.
All
right, man.
Everyone listening, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate all the support. We are out. Happy New Year. We might get one more. No. New Year's is tomorrow, right?
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so this is the last podcast of 2020.
Let's go.
So 2021, round the corner. Work hard, have fun, stay safe, drink responsibly, and we're out. Peace. Nailed it.
Nice.
How long was that?